Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another Dank Talks. I am your host, the one and only Dank Coffee God, and today we're going to be talking about my trip to Punta Cana, which was in the Dominican Republic, for those that aren't aware. It was a pretty important trip. A lot of things happened there, and that's why I thought this story would be a pretty good one for us to cover. I actually had quite a lot of roles, and it was a week long, so a lot of shenanigans happened. But a little bit of brief backstory. My mom, she was divorced at one point, and she met this really awesome guy, and they wanted to get married, and so they needed to plan a wedding. And they wanted their wedding to be on the 4th of July, and they wanted to get married in Punta Cana, outside of the country. And the whole kind of premise behind it was they would get a celebration for every single one of their anniversaries, and neither of them would ever really forget it that way either. So let's go ahead and dive straight into the story. Obviously this took place on the 4th of July, and so it was that was about the halfway point in the trip, so I'd probably say maybe May 30th we left, something like that. I don't know, I wouldn't quote me on that one. But we leave right around that time, and I was 18 at this time, and Punta Cana was a 18 and you're allowed to drink country. So you could tell there was going to be a lot of alcohol infused times here. And so on the trip there, me and my family, we all load up in the car, and we have somebody driving us there to the airport. And we stop by the liquor store, and we get a bunch of those little, the little shots that you get. They're like $1.99, and you get them at liquor stores, and you can just get a crap ton of them. And so my family, we got just a massive amount. Completely ridiculous for 4 people to just be sharing, because the people that were going on the trip that could drink was my mom, my soon-to-be stepdad, and then my mom's friend Alex, which she'll come in later in the story, and myself. So the 4 of us are drinking in the car, having a great time, as our driver takes us to the airport. We go, and at this point I'm pretty intoxicated, and I have to go through TSA, which really sucks. I don't recommend getting drunk before TSA, but I will recommend getting drunk after TSA before you get on the plane. It makes the plane ride quite a bit more enjoyable, or if they have some sort of drink there. But just be warned that when you're in the air, I feel like you get drunker. Somebody will have to check that and leave a comment whether or not that's an actual thing or not. But when you're that high up, I feel like you get really drunk really quick. So I would definitely be careful about how much you drink before that point. But Alex and I were sitting there, and Alex had brought literally all of the alcohol in her carry-on bag. And so her and I and my stepdad, or soon-to-be stepdad, were sitting there drinking like whiskey and cokes the whole plane ride down to Punta Cana, and it was an absolute blast. We touched down in the airport in the afternoon. It was probably about 8 o'clock there, and we're greeted as we're getting off the plane with this alcohol that was like pink, and it had this gigantic like white worm inside of it. It was ridiculous, and it was pretty gross, but they offered me a shot right then and there, and if I wasn't as drunk as I was at that point, I probably would have been like, heck no. But you know, I was like, we're already this far, might as well try something new. So we go ahead and we take the worm shot, and honestly it wasn't that bad. It was pretty tasty. I definitely recommend it if you ever get a chance to try the worm liquor. It's got the giant worm in it. I wouldn't shy away from it. It actually tastes pretty good. But we get to the resort. It's like a bus ride, and I really don't remember much of the bus ride other than it was long, and there was all these little cars and like motorcycle people that were like driving by us at like top speeds, just zooming in and out of traffic on the way there. We pull up to this huge resort, and it's like, I forget how many miles long it is, but it had this gigantic pool that was just miles long, and it was like a straight line almost, but like curves, and there was like housing all on the sides, and we got pretty good housing. It was in the middle of everything, so everything was close by. But we get there, and Alex and I had to share a room, and she likes to drink. And so we got there, and as we were settling in, the fridge was full of complimentary beers, and Alex, as I said earlier, had still had the alcohol in her backpack, so we sat there and literally finished it all off watching Nat Geo Wild. And at some point in the night, I definitely kind of just went to sleep, and I don't really remember anything that happened after us starting to watch Nat Geo Wild, but I do remember waking up all throughout the night and just extreme amounts of vomit everywhere. I completely destroyed the entire bathroom, and when I woke up the next morning, a few interesting things had occurred. There was a hot dog randomly sitting in the middle of the hotel room, I guess. I was fully clothed still, like I had my shirt and my shorts on, but I was missing my underwear, which I didn't really know what was going on there. When I went to the bathroom, oh my god, there was puke in the toilet, in the sink, in the bathtub, on the floor, literally everywhere. So it was a pretty rough night, to say the least, and we definitely left like $100 bill just there for the cleaning ladies because that was a really, really rough mess to have to clean up. I felt so bad, and I still feel bad, but it's what happens. So I get there, and there's all these amazing restaurants where you can go and you can get like steaks or fresh fish, just crazy things, and the menus aren't big, and everything is pretty much like you don't have anything cooked to order. You can't really modify anything or take anything out. You just have to order off of the menu that's got like 6 or 7 different things on it every single day, which is a pretty cool concept for a restaurant, and I really liked it because everything was just extremely fresh and it tasted so good. You usually didn't even have to wait that long. But we kept going to these restaurants, and on the third day we were there, my stepdad's best man came, and his son, Jaden, came along with me, and his best man, who we call Cat Daddy, was like, hey, Connor, I need you to kind of take my son under your wing, drink with him a bit, get him out there, he's an interesting soul for 18 years old, not very experienced in that stuff. I was like, alright, that sounds good enough. So Jaden and I, we kind of hang out, introduce ourselves to each other, and night one, we go to the club. Like, just straight up, we go to the club, and he's maybe drank like 1 shot in his entire life, and I get this kid royally smashed. Like, we're talking, he is messed up. And we had a great time at the club, just hanging out and doing our thing, drinking alcohol and trying different things. And every single morning that I was there, I remember I would go and wake up at about 6 o'clock after going to bed at like midnight, 1 o'clock, with 2 Advil in my hands and a mimosa, and knocking on Jaden's door like, hey man, you coming out? We gonna do some more? And he kept up the whole time, so props to him. Shout out to you, Jaden, my man. But we did that, and so we ate really good, we drank amazing, and we went to all these different clubs, and there were these shows that they did there where they did like acting, and there was like, it's sort of like, I don't even know how to describe it. They were doing really crazy dancing with like ropes in the air and stuff, and all these weird things that I had never really experienced or seen in my life at all. But enough about all the backstory. Let's get down to the juicier parts, the actual wedding day. So I go with my mom, and she is getting ready, all that kind of stuff. She's putting on her dress and doing up her makeup, getting her hair done, and all these cool things. And I remember that I was taking pictures for a lot of it. I was there and I had to take pictures of people and of her and just the happenings and the goings on. And so I was kind of following her around for the first part of the day, taking pictures of her and just being there for her on her big day. I do remember at some point going and seeing my stepdad, taking a couple pictures of him before the wedding started, hanging out with him for a bit, giving him a bit of a prep talk, and getting ready myself because I was going to be one of his groomsmen. He and I have a great relationship, and we just always have, and I figure I was just at that age, and, you know, he wanted me to be one of his groomsmen, so I had to go and get ready, and we were wearing these really nice, like, white, wavy button-up shirts, and, like, these cool slacks, and we were all wearing these matching glasses that were, like, wooden and just super, super cool. But all of the groomsmen and best man and my stepdad, we all get there, and the ceremony is being held in this little villa that's in the middle of, like, everything. There's all these huge, like, flowers and these huge bushes and all these sculptures. There's, like, this huge ring of water around this gazebo where they're getting married. And all the audience are there. They both had quite a few people that showed up to it to kind of give their support, lots of family members and friends. And everything's getting ready, and I was decided to walk my mom down the aisle. So everybody's kind of getting together and stuff, and I have to sit there with my mom, and I'm giving her prep talk, and we're just getting ready, and then I walk her down the aisle and go and take my place next to the rest of the groomsmen. It's just a beautiful ceremony, and it really made me happy, you know, just to go ahead and see all that kind of stuff happen, and to see my parents now get married and fall in love after all of that. As it was on the 4th of July, there was a fireworks show that happened afterwards, and this fireworks show was probably not like anything you've ever seen before. The fireworks show was over the water on the ocean, so you would, like, sit on the beach and the fireworks would shoot up, and the show lasted for about 2 hours, and it was 2 hours of the best and most ridiculous fireworks that you could ever imagine. You have every single type just constantly shooting off, just going and going and going. It was absolutely wild. And one of the groomsmen had brought these pineapple tarts that were edible. And so all the groomsmen, we went and we ate these little pineapple tarts, and we had some I think it was rum that we were drinking, and we had some glasses of rum, and all of us kind of just walked around on the beach and just enjoyed the fireworks and the show and the feelings of the really great night. After that, I think we were there for another day or two, so we definitely hit the club some more. Jaden and I just kept tearing it up. In fact, one of the nights, we actually went down to, like, this little shopping area there, and there was just tons of different vendors that were selling things. And we went to a bunch of, like, different cigar vendors, and we tried some Cuban cigars, which are hard to come by here where I live in the States. And so we got to try those, and they were interesting. They weren't as extravagant as you would think. I feel like there's a novelty factor to them, which makes them a lot more desired than what they're actually worth. But at the same time, they're cool. And we just bought all this cool art and saw all these cool things that people had made. And it was just amazing. Going home was terrible because that was an amazing week to spend out of the country and just going and doing stuff that I had never experienced before. So it was a bit of culture shock going back to real life. But honestly, altogether, it was an amazing experience. And one day I really would like to go back to a resort like that. in the future just on my own accord, because that seems like just the perfect place to kick back and chill for like a week or even 2, honestly. I would not mind staying 2 weeks at a place like that where you just get in the pool, you have people bring you drinks in the pool, you can go to clubs, the food is all just handcrafted every single night, and it definitely was an experience to live, and I'm very grateful that it happened, and I'm very happy that my parents got a very awesome wedding. But in conclusion, I would like to say that if you can, go ahead and try out some different spas, save up some money to save up for going out to go try those things, because they are absolutely worth it. It will definitely change your mind on what a really incredible vacation is, or at least in my opinion, it did. And more than that, you get to experience kind of different cultures and different climates, different places altogether, and you never know what kind of things might happen there as well. So always try and get out of your comfort zone a bit, try and go to these new places. I know not everybody can save up and afford to do stuff like that, but if you can, I definitely recommend it. You know, it's an experience to revel in. But I think that's going to about wrap it up for today. I want to say thank you for everybody coming out to watch the video. If you guys will, give it a like and comment, and subscribe to my channel for more future more future content, and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time I post. But yeah, that's going to be it. You all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.